Hey, what is up, everybody? I'm the best of my world, and I'm coming at you with my predictions for Week 1 in the 2023 NFL season. Starting with the Lions versus the Chiefs, even without Travis Kelce in the lineup, in my opinion, the Chiefs can still win. Then we got the Texans versus the Ravens. I'm taking the Ravens. Following that, we have the Jaguars versus the Colts, and I am taking the Jaguars. Next up, we have the Bengals versus the Browns, and I'm taking the Bengals. Following that, we have the Buccaneers versus the Vikings, and I'm taking the Vikings. Next up, we have the Titans versus Saints, and I'm going to actually lean on the Saints. Next up, we have the Panthers versus the Falcons, and I'm taking the Falcons. Following that, we have the 49ers versus the Steelers, and I think the 49ers can actually edge out the Steelers. Following that, we have the Cardinals versus the Commanders, and I'm going to go on a toss-up and take Commanders on that one. Following that, we have the Raiders versus the Broncos, and I think the Broncos can have a bounce back and beat on the Raiders. Next up, we have the Dolphins versus the Chargers, and I'm going to take the Chargers. Following that, we have the Eagles versus the Patriots, and I'm taking the Eagles. Next up, Packers versus Bears, and I'm actually going to take Packers over that. Next up, Rams versus Seahawks, and I'm going to lean on the Hawks on that one. Cowboys versus Giants, I'm actually going to take the Giants over the Cowboys on that one. Following that, on Monday night, we have the Bills versus the Jets, and I'm going to take the Bills over the Jets. Those are my predictions, and I'll see you next week with next week's predictions. Later.